ECG. Some numbers keep coming, and I'm sure we are going to do a breakdown of it very shortly.
Yeah.
So some expenses and some
budgets that they have
and expenses.
They have not stuck to the budget. They have overspent on the budget. And you know what? I mean, this happened during the public accounts, committee hearing, and some of the figures involved. You ask yourself, why would staff of ECG be doing this? Take a listen to some of these things. I mean, it's going to blow your mind away. The things that is being reported, things that have happened, there, it will blow your mind away. But look, aside from that, I would also love for you to go online and check the fact that there's a story that talks about that the fact that there should be prosecution.
Okay.
So before that, I want our listeners to listen to this. Right. They should listen to this.
Overseas travel expenses. You are supposed to spend 14 million, and you spend 29.8 million. Call center expenses. You are supposed to spend 23.5 million. You spent 29.3 million. So budget approval was for 144 million. You spent 333 million. That's excess of 189.2 million. This shows financial indiscipline. And the recommendation over here is that sanctions under Section 96 of the Public Financial Management Act 216, Act 921, should be applied to the officers involved. We also urge management to efficiently monitor and control the company's expenses. CEO, those managers who were involved, I'm recommending that they need to face the Auditor-General for prosecution.
Eugene, good morning to you as well.
David, you see, we live in a country where this same ECG will come to the studio. Oh, give us a tariff. Oh, help us increase our tariff. Help us. David, of late, if they come, we let them go to client service to pay. It's a juma ya try na sebe kwasi ya juma sebe. You get approval of a budget for what 144. Then you spend 34. In fact, you spend 180 million more. You spend 100% more than the budget approved. David, even the video you played, the short one, if you have played the 5 minutes video, you see at every single expenditure. This is just one entity. David, me park no grass a adwuma no mo ya na me hu fa so bi e also. Because the papa not on e bi kura no na boss akan. This is 2023, 2024 the third. Actually ti wo mu nyina. They should be prosecuted, and I like the recommendation. David,
stakeholder expenses. They budgeted for 3.1 million. They ended up spending 49 million.
Who did they stakeholder consult? Who did they stakeholder consult in this country? And they be they to prepared. David, what them as one and say who you should like movie. Yeah, David, we so to prepared that isn't me yes no. Me ponf we do fear two na. Me swa be 7 one we my no madum ne kakan be dan masanso. Oto ya ne ate. Look at your prepaid card today and look at how much they are deducting for a street light and all these things.
No, but I ask myself.
Then we give you the little money that run ECG for 144. More electricity more tower.
That's what I was going to talk about.
By 180 million.
All the losses in there. You're not sitting down to strategize and look for ways and means by which you can halt it. All you're thinking about is how to spend the very little money you also have. And then you turn around and come and tell us that you need what? Tariff adjustments. For what? Listen, if you go through the list, and listeners, we can project it on our Facebook page for you on Love in the Morning. Joel, if you don't mind, please place it there. If you have time, just go. Yes, it is there right now.
See, David, let me give you something.
It is there right now on our Facebook page on Love in the Morning.
David, since 2013, let me give you some numbers. You see, the last one I told you that we need to critically look at the ECG. And for me, the reason why I was supporting that, if we have to take some aspect of it and privatize, was because of this. David, let me give you this. 2013, ECD generated a revenue of 1.95 billion. they spent 2.08 billion. Loss. 2024, they generated revenue of 3 billion. They spent revenue of 3.08 billion. They spent 3.09 billion. Loss. 2015, loss. 2015 was a profit of 3.33 billion and they had 3.6 billion. So profit. 2016, revenue more than expenditure, so profit. 2017, their revenue was 2.62 billion, expenditure was 6.54 billion. Loss. 2018, revenue 5.91 billion, expenditure 8.66 billion. Loss. 2020, revenue 6.91 billion, expenditure 12.4 billion. Loss. 2021, 7.44 billion, expenditure 13.2 billion. Loss. 2022, 8.7 billion revenue, expenditure 18.52 billion. 2023 revenue 15.75 billion, expenditure 24.94 billion. I'm not conjecturing that this is PLC data. If you run an entity like this, how do you expect the entity to be profitable? Then every quarter, David, auto prepaid an answer.
But they say government corporations are not supposed to make profits.
Who said that? It's not true. Any ECG and the parliament and government entity. What is this? And David, you see, what is upsetting about this whole public accounts committee? The Nipa no board cannot code. And a manager be on one backwards. We need to be able to have a section in that because the park I'm told has the powers of high court.
So what they say is this: when you inherit an office, you come to an office, the liabilities, and you absorb them all. So bottom line, I'm happy with the fact that they want to prosecute these people. Yes. Let's go after these people. Listen, if you watch this park thing, the piano wakuma eyo ya. Why? So everybody gets up in this country. I have said this before. Let me just say one more time. Each and every individual, we get up in this country, and all we think about is why? That's all we think about. Even this morning, what we'll be talking about, this oral and whether we've been able to recover whatever. Individuals get up and they buy a watch at the cost of 1.5 million cities. Not abundance.
Allegedly.
But the thing is, they've been a fiscal burden on government for all these years. But it seems like there has never been a policy that, kind of makes sure that they make profits or make sure that they don't make such huge losses.
Communication expenses, and I'm communicating with 4.2. Now they spend 7.9 million.
David had there. You see, give me 2 minutes to do this. David, Aliu Kasemi, David Fadi me if it's not ready for me. Ofu kushana baby was kwasi ampe nu papa mo bra. Nam papa be na bo bra. David here. Foreign travels. The approved budget was 31 million. They spent 91 million. Cleaning expenses. The budget was 2.8 million. They spent 10.4 million. On a railroad, Ben Baha, 45 minutes. No call. On a railroad, 3.8 million. They spent 4.6 million. Hotel expenses. The budget approved was 9.3 million. They spent 12.2 million. Staff fuel. They budgeted 2.8 million. They spent 7.9 million. Communication expenses. Communication expenses. They budgeted 4.2 million. They spent 7.9 million. Consultancy expenses. The budgeted money was 40 million. They spent 58.6 million. Industrial relations. Cost strike here and cost strike. Industrial relations. The budget was 2 million. They spent 13 million. Stakeholders engagement. 3.1 million budget. They spent 49 million. Professional fees and subscription, CapCut, Photoshop. So subscription fees, 371,000 CDs was approved. 731,000 CDs was approved. They spent 1.5 million, 100%. Overseas travel expenses. Now, David, listen to this. You see, what is the difference between foreign training and overseas training expenses? Training, overseas, let's see. That one is 14 million budget. They spent 29.8 million. Call center expenses. Hey, you say highlight call center expenses. The budget is 23.5 million.
So call center expenses and then communication expenses.
You see, that's what I wanted to go through with you. David, look at it. Publicity expenses. So they have, David, listen on. Ben Betra, oh, David, can we come? David, don't have a budget. I'm saying it already because you progress what you don't want to say, but I'm saying it already.
I don't want you to say, but hold on. There are some things you don't have to say.
No, I'm coming.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair, they do publicity. No. ECG does announcements here. ECG runs adverts here sometimes. But I do not expect them to balloon. I don't expect it for it to balloon.
David, I'm coming. David, I'm coming. How many times have you vetoed for programs they are not on for us to cancel our programs and bring them here? How many times have you now done that?
Several times. Because we're looking at the end result. The listeners.
I'm coming.
I mean the customers they have and our listeners.
So as a programs manager, if you see
I'm
this,
not the programs manager.
Deputy programs manager, if you see this, that they have publicity expenses, how does that make you feel?
Did you hear what I said a while ago? I don't see the sense in the budgeting 5.7 and spending 21.8.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying to you is this: I know that they do adverts here.
How many?
I know that they run announcements.
How many?
Go and ask Alex.
They should be
go and ask Alex. But what I'm saying to you is, if you budget for something, you don't go beyond the budget.
Now, David, the point is raising that. Look at the thing well. They have communication expenses. And they have publicity expenses. Now, what you are trying to establish is that I'm coming. ECG must come and tell us.
Oh boy.
David, look at it. So if we add communication and publicity, 21.8.
So
plus the
communication and call center.
One after the other, please.
Now, David, look at it. 21.8 plus the 7.9. So communication alone, well, then publicity is also coming. That alone is almost 30 million. David. Now, David, me person mo Ghana water the deba.
So, but do they have receipts for all this expenditure? That's the thing.
If it was there, would they say they should be referred to and then prosecution, done? If it was available.
But they can have receipts. I'm coming. That as a conference, I cannot go to monitor for 30 hours. You mean the receipt amount?
But on the market,
but the thing is that
what's the value of the market?
To buy a monitor for 40 hours.
Yeah. So after we see the receipts and actually see what they spent the money on, then maybe they can justify why. I'm not trying to,
So that will come up when the prosecution begins. Because once you're going to be prosecuted, you have a defense. Once you have your defense, you bring along with you everything to support, to buttress your case. So for now, as it stands, let's see how it goes.
Boss, good morning. I have a challenge.
What's the challenge?
If you are running your private business,
nobody will do this.
You budget 5.7 million Ghana cedis for publicity expenses. And then
who was the boss in 2020?
And then in the end, you spend 300% more than what has been allocated to you.
It doesn't make sense.
David,
sense.
Why are we doing this in this country? And you see, the point that Eugene raised, he shared my opinion. Why is the man in charge of ECG now facing the Public Accounts Committee? We should find a way and hold before the officials who were involved in the 2023 financial misappropriation or financial overrun.
So like I'm saying to you, hold on.
What this guy in office is doing is only going to rely on documents to answer questions.
Now they appear there, their books are checked. And don't forget that before they invite you, their auditors and co have worked behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And then they have furnished the committee with all their findings.
Yes.
You, the former boss, you were not there. So this one comes and they have spent this. Yes, indeed, it's in our books. They've spent over this, that. Now they have established this. Then they say the person who was there in that office, let's go prosecute it. Let's go after him.
I also know that before you go to the Public Accounts Committee, they will send you documents of the areas you will cover.
I know.
And so these financial overruns and misappropriation will be known. And I'm saying that
are you saying that the boss who was in office at the time should be the one to have
exactly? Yeah, because he probably may be able to explain why he budgeted 5.7 million Ghana cedis, but ended up spending 21.
David. For example, you give, for example, Madam Mrs. Akwete say 500 cedis to go to the market. She comes back and says, "Oh, David, I spent 1,000." You are not in the market, so though you are the head of the institution. If you go and you explain, you only have a reported speech of Mrs. Akwete. But when you call Mrs. Akwete, she can give you the context. Oh, me ko into so no. Not 200 cedi we mu dia, but na no apro. It me to 500 cedi dia no. So David, the big and whoever was there must also, we need to maybe it's not in the law.
That's what
but
I'm saying.
Going forward.
But if it's not in the law, they have said to you that at least action should be taken.
No, David, it's not action, but church much action saying.
And so when they go to the courts, all those things will come out. Or you think that's too long for you? It's too long. If it's too long for you, fine. But what I'm saying is, it's the laws that we're working with. The Public Accounts Committee is vetting these expenditures. And you know when Pakwesi Bedu, Kofanochi CEO went, that was when the issue of the computer issue came up. He was trying to defend, and he was told that, listen, we're not saying it's you. But we're saying that the rot has been wrong has been done. Let's look into it and let's correct it.
David, we agree. The differentiating factor we are saying is that we agree with you that the boss there, when you inherit a company, you inherit both the liability and the asset. We agree. But we are saying that we want these people to also face Ghanaians, because Parliament is the representation of the people, a National Assembly. Come and explain to us why you bought a laptop monitor near to Bantama 44,000 or 40,000. Men can't say a 1 year baby for anything. But when you explain to them, what they casa, they will look at the context. Because David, bring back the budget. David, it tells you not one single line item were they able to conform to
within the budget. No.
So it tells you that, David, what that tells you beyond the inefficiency of ECG is that every single sector of that agency doesn't respect budget.
Well, and it's not only them. We following the committees and their workings, it's not only them. Several institutions have also done the same.
High profile loss because the SOEs in Ghana. Number one is Electricity Company of Ghana. In 2023, they lost about 10 billion in losses. Ghana Water Company, 3 billion shortfall in 2023. Ghana Cocoa Board, it's not specified here, and then Tema Oil Refinery. These four are the top biggest.
Now, David, the second bad bit of it is that you follow them. The gentleman who paid a dead person for 26 months, what has happened? David, Akoya Okodi in some money could repeat 13 years ago. Once an answer, 1 week, yet me jail. Maybe, sir. David, I don't know, can I say?
And again,
how do you go to funeral? We are colleagues. Your colleague, your kwaye, your boss one, your different jollof. Now we buy what me validating Akwana for 26 months. David, no Public Accounts Committee. It's beyond normal.
And what we'll do it. We'll do it. Relax. We'll do the boss's birthday thing. We'll do it. But for me, I'm happy that the president says he wants to introduce some fast track courts. Yeah. Let's have a fast track court established immediately for Galamsey people for law. Grind slowly, but to grind at him. But this one they say fast track courts. Let's have them established. Oral is supposed to also help in terms of oral. Yeah. It's supposed to help with Galamsey and also be able to help with this.
But what I don't understand is anytime it's about these big men, it grinds slowly. But David, fast
in the video ne buy. A man say 1 hour no more chain. Yesterday I'm reading that the minimum. The maximum is 25. A man 10.
And
because he pleaded guilty and that the state didn't have to prove the crime and everything. Yanti police force be a general. Who church man to asuma no masu. You saw muna de chinyani apelo ya ma wuni bia. Na ya kasa mi na dako. Se judge phone say be a washroom bi or court honum na wa ko Johnson obi ayo okay 2 days. Ni akabi bia wi. Bene 2 days ni akami biawie. Then David, you can be biawie say kima ni ade oko. Because David, oh boy. The last time I watched another gentleman, was it from Donko Krum or so? You are not at a certain qualification level. The guy managed to put himself there and a certain amount. Now David, it all come back to the system I always talk about how it seems that when it comes to politically exposed persons and some civil servants, as a man, within the last week, the things I have to go through access banking, and I nearly brought in my lawyers. But you ask yourself, you hear name 40-something million, 6 million, then it goes through a system.
Ben, I advise you, the message you are sending to me, stop. Because if I decide to read those messages and try to punch holes in them, what did he
say? Oh, then we can read it.
No. He sent it to me privately. That's why I'm cautioning him, because I don't want to go on that tangent.
Any recommendation at all
because
for me this
even
morning.
If somebody gets a contract to do some work, whether cashless or whatever, and the person charged, you are supposed to stay within your budget. Ben, let me slow down. Let me just
no, Dave. You see
the point Ben is trying to raise. That is why it will be important for the officers involved in the 2023 financial overrun to be there and explain and provide answers. We are not even looking at the prosecution. Maybe they can provide proper justification for some of these expenditure. And I'm saying that the officers who were involved in 2023, right,
yes,
they should be there to answer the questions.
So if you say they can find explanations to justify this, if you think that you have a budget you're supposed to work with, and per your checks or whatever you do, you realize that the budget is going to be more, what do?
You go back to your board and parliament.
Did you do that?
Minister.
Exactly what I'm saying. So that one doesn't come in.
Oh, okay.
You use your own personal decision to take some of these decisions, and it's wrong.
David,
if you think you have a budget that you cannot work within, go for a review of the budget. It's as simple as that.
David, I've checked. So, the board chair of ECG in 2023 was Mr. Krapper. Then he was replaced by Afenyomaken. Afenyomaken was appointed board chair in July 2024, so he was not there. The managing director then was Dubik Mahama. So David, imagine say Mr. Krapati ya Dubikwa. Abranti, we need them myself a kudum. Who could be say? Don't want catch the Papa no because sometimes it's not fair. It's not fair on the current CEO. That we have not done anything.
And sometimes the tone that they use,
the tone and everything,
they
not
use
fair.
In engaging the CEOs and the people there.
And liability, you know?
It's not fair. Obi akwaya na ade. David Fedrigo go when Forward Ben's message to
but let's do this. Let's all have smiles on our faces. Our boss, Jamagla, is celebrating his birthday today.
Oh, wow.
And I'm told that he's going to throw a big party.